And you're going. You're on. Yeah.
Okay, so people, listen. No, he's not here.
Hey there, friends. So, on this video, we are going to talk about our fourth activity that we do as part of our morning routine called T.E.A.M. And so that's M, and that stands for meeting. So the meeting portion or activity of our routine together has actually evolved over time.
Yeah.
So, want to talk about how it kind of started, or?
It started as a check-in for us. And so before we started doing this in the morning, at night, it was one of the things that when we committed to improving our relationship and staying together, we realized that instead of having these like drawn out conversations on the things that weren't working or the things that upset us or triggered us in our relationship or throughout the day, we were just going to daily talk about it. Yeah. Like, how'd today go? How were you? How was I? What worked? What didn't work? And what can we do different tomorrow? So that's how it started. And then as we moved it to the morning, we realized that another important thing was to check in with the schedule. Yep. Hey, this is another thing that popped up that needs to get done today. The kids have to be here. I have this call come up. Would that be okay if I took this call and you took the kids? Right? Yep.
The meeting morning at the beginning was very much like we were trying new things a lot to like, we kind of felt like guinea pigs.
We were guinea pigs.
Yeah, and we would try anything to try and help our relationship. And so we were like, so how did that work out? How was it going? How was I as a husband? And so it became this sort of daily status of the relationship kind of thing, because even though we had decided to stay together, we really wanted to make sure that there was this consistent feeling of moving forward in the relationship, and so that daily check-in, that daily meeting became really vital. But today, we still do this today, years later, and the meeting has become this sort of
same though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's still a check-in, but it's also very much the calendaring and what's going on today. How can you support me today in order to
I'm struggling with this.
Right. How can I help you? And so it's become really important also to mitigate, because calendaring and the partner's element, is where a lot of the arguments can happen in a relationship. And so having the meeting each day helps mitigate those, surprise, you got to take the kids to soccer practice. Wait a second, I thought you were doing that. And suddenly there's a fight. So those things are no longer happening because we know exactly who's on first with a lot of the things that are going on.
Right. So. And another thing to add to that is that in the struggle of our relationship, like I had a tendency, if I was struggling with something, I was aggressive about it. And Lance had a tendency to shut down and not talk about it, and then eventually would be like, all these things. I'd be like, well, why didn't you say something? Like, if these things have been on your heart for a while, or you've been irritated about them. And, so we have this like opposite dynamic in our relationship, and creating this safe space to be honest about how we really felt about things every single day. There wasn't this tendency for you to shut down because you had the safe space. There wasn't this tendency for me to like aggressively address issues in the moment or, blow up, because I knew I had that time that I was going to be able to say this thing. Right? Because in order to properly pivot and move into the direction of your desires, you have to be able to know if what you're doing is working or if what you're doing isn't working.
Yeah, it's a very strong communication practice every single day to have this meeting. Every couple says communication is like a real problem, so if you create these little safe spaces each and every day to have this little meeting, well, guess what, you're going to be a heck of a lot better communicating with each other down the road.
Yeah, give it 30 days and you're a heck of a lot better at communicating than you were on day one.
Yep. So that's meeting, our fourth activity we do every morning as part of our teen routine.
Yes.
So if you liked this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.